This is my opinion on Dylan's boots. First of all, most of the uploads show his boots, well, right over by the grain shed. I don't give a shit if they call it the tool shed. It's going to stay the grain shed to me forever. But they did that. We have these boots were thrown right over there. Thrown right over there as a decoy. He wanted them to find those boots as a decoy. First of all, the guy didn't have that kind of brains. Second of all, the boots were not found near the shed. That after Brenner did what he did, it was actually quite a distance away. And so after he did what he did, don't think those boots were thrown there as no decoy. They were quite a distance away, and they were also thrown behind the hill. Now, put yourself on Brenner's level. He was no genius that he thought he was going a long distance away. He did not know what was going to happen the next week or so. Okay, so those boots were took over, and Brenner didn't go in this direction, but he likely went down here and over on this road to the burn pit. Okay, and even then the goddamn boots were thrown over the side of the goddamn hill. Well, he's going to put some watermelon there in a pop can to deceive people. The guy wasn't on that level. He did throw the fucking boots over out into the desert. Remember, he was hammered. He was likely hammered. But no, get it out of your head, these boots, well, they're right over here. See this grain shed? They're right over here. He planted them as decoy, and he put some watermelon. This genius then took some watermelon in a pop can and put it out there as a decoy. The guy wasn't on that level, people. By that time, it was the afternoon, and he was already hammered. And it already took place, what took place here at the grain shed. And that's what it is. It's going to stay named as the grain shed. Okay, so he went over. He had a vehicle. Well, it overheated after 20 minutes. You think he couldn't have got in no vehicle and drove down here and slung those boots over on the other side of this dirt hill? You bet he could. You bet he could. I'm thinking they'll never be found. That people, maybe they'll come around searching or whatever, but they're not going to go out here in the goddamn middle of the desert and find those boots. Now, I think the boots were took off to condense Dylan down. Condense him down. You've got a body and you've got the boots on. You pull off the boots, and he took them out here and he slung the son of a bitches. He was no genius. You know, some reports say they were 60 feet apart. I don't know. But you also got nutty reports like Wadsworth that goes, well, I've got it all figured out. What he was doing, he was dragging him along, beating him with the boots. One boot comes off while he's beating him. Well, that wasn't good enough. Then he takes off the next boot and beats him with the boot. I mean, you've got bullshit like that. And that shows Wadsworth has nothing to do with it. The boots were slung out in the goddamn middle of the desert on the other side of this thing here. They were not, well, over here where you see the markers. No, they were down over here. And that matches with Brenner's mindset, likely being drunk. That he did not necessarily know they were going to come up there with helicopters and everything was going to go way out of what he thought. And then, now, here's one thing about Brenner that concerns me. That the FBI and the cops come up here and they said, well, Brenner didn't like us being there. Okay, that is one thing that concerns me, because it does not match that if he was the killer, Why would he go up, make himself known, and go, I don't like you being here. Get the hell out of this area. That is quite important. Suppose he was a killer. Okay, Dylan comes up, breaks through the gate, does whatever, and yet Brenner stays there and does battle with the FBI and the cops. I don't like you being here. Get the hell out of here. That is a huge issue. Huge issue. I do think he did it. He could just be drunk and nuts. But suppose myself or another person that I have it out for Dylan and go in through the gate. He comes in through the gate, and then Brenner stays there and plus does battle with the FBI. I don't like you being around here. Now remember, the FBI said, well, Brenner said he doesn't like us being here, so we're going to leave the area. That is one freaky thing. Yeah, it could be because Brenner just so goddamn is so brain drunk and stoned that he come up and said, I don't like you being here. Anyway, I don't know. If I was a killer of Dylan, I'd be long gone out of there, not coming up. I'm going to come up to the FBI and the police, I don't like you being here, and draw attention to him. And then days later, he takes his guns over to Ty, whoever, the other nutcase. Well, they're starting to look in the area. Take these guns and my black powder, stuff like that. Okay, now suppose he did kill Dylan. Well, I don't know. He didn't have any other place to go. But suppose he did kill Dylan, okay? Suppose I was the murderer. I'm going to get on the goddamn highway and get the hell out of there. But he stays there for days, and plus does battle with the FBI. I don't like you being around here. Now suppose I was a killer. I'm off over here in my squatter shed. In my squatter shed. And I just killed a guy. I buried him out here, over here. Okay, but I'm going to go up and do battle with the FBI and the police. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's not what killers do. We know he was a killer, and the only solution is he was just so fucked up drunk that he did wake up, drink his bottle of whiskey, and go down here and does battle with the FBI. But it doesn't make sense. And then he takes his guns to Ty, feller, whoever, hold these guns because they're going to come out searching around. Okay, now suppose I or someone had just killed a person, and yet he stays there, comes down and does battle with the FBI. That I don't like you being here. And the FBI said, well, we're not going to stay here in this area, that Brenner is upset. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.